What's up, guys? I was looking on YouTube, and it looks that lately there haven't been any super up-to-date guides on how to catch up, or even a beginner guide for Anime Guardians, so I figured I would make one to help you guys out. Anyway, let's just hop right into it. If this video helps you out at all, or if you enjoyed it, please do drop a like and subscribe. I'm really trying to grow as a channel, and I appreciate all your guys' support lately. If we get some subs and likes off this video, I'll actually give away a Featherine that I got to someone who leaves their user down in the comments, and I'll be doing the Sukuna giveaway soon for the other videos, so stay tuned. Let's hop straight into it. Alrighty, so first and foremost, let's first talk about the beginners. When you first load into the game, you of course want to put in all the new codes, which I will put on screen and in the comments down below, so definitely enter those as those are crucial for this guide. Next, of course, you get this free Exodia unit that you can already see in my hotbar. So he is not the greatest, but a very good starter and will definitely help in this guide. So the first thing we want to do after we enter the codes is actually summon on the banner for the 2 farm units that you'll be needing for this. So if we open the special banner here and go to the index, you can see that Bulma, this gold unit on the left, and I don't actually know his name, but this purple unit with the gray hair, these are the 2 farms. So I'm going to actually equip them now. With the currency that you got, you should definitely be able to get both of them. What were their names? You should definitely be able to get both of them on the banner. With any extra rerolls you have, I would recommend rolling gold on both of them for extra money, but it's not required. Anyway, let's head straight into the next step. Alrighty, so for the next step, we are actually just going to be going into the summer event. As it is an infinite game mode that you can farm pretty much with no units, this is actually going to be the source of our initial resources. So let's head in and I'll show you what to do. So now that we're loaded in, we're just going to want to select super fast wave so that it will end faster, and let's just vote start. So for this macro, all you're going to want to be doing, or not macro, it's just for this guide, you're just going to want to be placing your farm units first of all, and then you're going to auto upgrade all of them. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to wait for the farms to get fully upgraded, and then we're just going to place our Exodia unit. The recommended placement is right here on the corner. Doesn't really matter, but you will need to upgrade him so that he doesn't let any leaks through, which I already did. Okay. You have so much money in this game mode, it doesn't even matter. You can just place this guy wherever. So once you get him placed, as you can see, we're already getting beach ball currency. This game mode will just continue until you fail, which will happen pretty quickly because this unit isn't the greatest. But what you want to do is just let this play through until it ends, and I'll just show you that now through the footage. Alrighty, now as you can see, we ended with 8,000 beach balls in just a couple of minutes. If you want to macro this, there are a lot of macro guides, and you could easily do this as a beginner. This is the event I would recommend for farming currency early, but let's just head straight into the next step. So for the next step, we are actually heading back to the summon banner. I would like to remind you that this guide is just more of the direct progression. This is still a tower defense, meaning there are other units, and you can obviously play the game however you want to go through, but this is just like a no-nonsense, get to the end game fast guide for beginners and people who want to catch up. Anyway, let's just head straight into this step. So, assuming you've grinded out a bunch of beach balls, I obviously haven't cleared this event in a while, but let's just say you grind this overnight and get a bunch of beach balls. What you're going to want to do is come to the summer limited banner, and you're going to want to get one of these units. The unit I would recommend is actually Judar, and that is the unit I will be using in this example video. But you could also really get lucky and get the Guardian. If you get the Guardian unit, you pretty much can skip like halfway through this video and be good. But for now, I'm just going to be using Judar as an example. I know Kenshin and Naruto are also pretty good, but again, we're just going to be using Judar for the sake of this video. So once you spin and get Judar, the next thing that you're going to want to be doing is going for Robin, as Robin is a very good unit, and I'll show you what I mean by that next. Alrighty, so next we will be going for Robin from the Mushroom Rush event using our newly formed team. I would like to say, since you did get food from the codes, I would recommend feeding Judar now. I'm not actually sure how much food the codes gave, so I just put him at level 53 for the sake of the example, with no trait. But again, if you want to spin on him and get a really good trait, the guide gets simpler the more you grind ahead of time, meaning if you get traits on these units, because I'm going to be doing most of this with as minimal of a grind as possible, so that it can apply to the most people, but yeah. Anyway, so you want to come over to this Castorus NPC. She is in the events section. So you want to make sure you're on Robin with these little antennas sticking up. Mushroom Event 2 is the other unit. You want to be on Mushroom Event 1 for Robin. Anyway, let's head in and I'll show you what to do. Alrighty, now that we're loaded in, we're going to be choosing Super Fast Wave. And we are going to be placing further in the back. The spawn is over there. The farm placement, of course, doesn't really matter. We just need to get them all down and then start their auto upgrades. But what's important here is placing in this bend that you see on the left side, because all of the units, they need as much time as they can to kill the boss, especially if you're doing this solo. That is one thing I would like to add. A lot of these game modes do have matchmaking, and you can speed up your progress in the guide a lot simply by matchmaking and playing with other players, as you can get carried and move through a lot faster. I'm not saying that I would recommend it, but it's not a bad idea. Anyway, so let's place our Judars right here. As you can see, he definitely has a good range. And for the sake of this guide, I think since Judar is stronger, well, our Exodia unit's really cheap, so we'll place him anyway. So we are going to upgrade 2 Judars, as we saw we had enough money for that. I'm not sure. So he's 94,000 to max. He's only 21,000. Yeah, we're good. We're definitely going to take him. So as you can see, the boss has spawned in the back of the map. It will take him a minute to get over here, but I did test other placements. If you want to macro this game mode, just starting your macro from right here and placing them over here would actually work. If you want a macro guide, there's plenty on YouTube. If I made one here, the video would be really long, but it's pretty simple. You just want to be placing on this bend. I'm pretty sure that'll be the most consistent. You probably could realistically do one further up that you could be a little bit faster with the clear times, but I'm not sure about the consistency, especially with how poor my team is right now. Again, if you make your summer unit a lot stronger, this game mode is going to be significantly easier, but I'm doing this as like just the absolute baseline of power. So at the minimum, someone should be able to achieve this with this guide pretty easily. Again, you'll have so many beach balls. If you open the capsules and get someone like Miyabi, this guy is just going to go a lot faster for you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's just wait for this boss to die. Alrighty, and boom, the boss is dead. So you are just going to want to farm this event until you get Robin. Robin is honestly the most needed unit in the game. She is the best unit in the game, because when you fully max upgrade her, she will upgrade the rest of your characters for the rest of the match, as long as she's alive. Anyway, with her, let's head into the next steps. Alrighty, so for the next step, you should have some gems by now, or left over from the banner. You will want to be waiting for Senku in the banner now. Senku is going to be very necessary as a farm unit, so you will need to get Senku. I do the rest of this guide without Senku, but I would definitely recommend getting him. Anyway, the next thing is, after grinding those 2 events, you should have enough battle EXP, since there is an EXP event, to actually get Yuta. And Yuta will be a really good unit for us when starting, as he also has a pretty decent nuke. So he's definitely a good unit. I would actually roll on him if you're like early to early middle game, as he's definitely not bad. So the only thing is, if you don't have enough battle EXP for Yuta, or you want more materials, the next step that we're going to look at is actually Tower Adventures. So to get the Towers Adventures portal, you're going to come over to the events gate, and you're going to talk to Yuta. He's going to give you a quest, and you will actually have to open and close the game to refresh your quest menu and get it. But he will give you a quest and it will be to clear 40 waves of infinite. 40 waves of infinite, easy. You don't have to do it in a row. You just need to get 40 total. Once you get that, it will give you this new portal in your play menu called Tower Adventure. So the thing about Tower Adventure is there's 2 towers. I would not recommend trying to do Lost Ancient World yet. If you get really lucky with your units, you could go for it, as these dragon points could get you Ragna capsules. But for now, if you need EXP and materials, you can actually clear first place. You'll get gems, Moon Knight, which is a banner currency, and trait rerolls, and you can also get more EXP to work towards Yuta. So that is Tower Adventures. Let's move on to the next step. Alrighty, so from here, there's kind of a divergence point of you deciding where you want to go from here. If you want to farm one of the other game modes so that you can keep getting traits and better stuff on your units, as you can see, I did upgrade the units and give them Exodia and level 100, as at this point in the game, it's going to be required for us to put some investment in and time in to even be able to clear these harder stages. So if you need to keep farming materials, you can keep farming the summer event and keep farming capsules, or just straight up buying the trait rerolls, buying these like antique earrings for artifacts and such. If you need to buy all that, you can definitely do that, but from this point onward, I'm going to be giving you a couple different areas you can go to. The first one, as we discussed earlier, is Tower Adventures. At this point, with a couple Exodias on your team, you should be able to start clearing some stages of Lost Ancient World. I mean, I'm on floor 483, but the earlier floors certainly aren't hard. You get both of these materials. The Beharits you won't be able to use until Griffith returns, I think, next week for next update. But these dragon points, the number, like the floor number you're on, is the amount of the material you get. So it starts like getting exponentially better as you go through, which is why this game is so ridiculous. Like I could clear like 5 stages now and have 2,000 of this currency. So it's ridiculous. Now with these dragon points, what you're going to want to be doing is coming over here in the events tab and actually buying Ragna capsules. You get a lot of stuff from these, and of course you get Ragna. Ragna is going to be a very good unit to help you clear some of these harder stages. But for now, let's just talk about any of the other farms. At this point, with your units, you might actually want to replace your beginner Exodia unit. I would recommend it actually, which you could replace with another summer unit. We go back to the summer banner. The summer units are, of course, going to be Rudo and Kenshin are the other ones. I've been using Judar for this guide. These two are also really good. So you might want to replace that Exodia unit with another summer unit to get a little bit stronger. For the sake of this guide, we're going to be moving forward with the assumption that you go and grind out Ragna, as he's really good. And from this point onwards, it's going to pretty much just be getting key units and then moving towards the harder events. So let's keep doing it. Alrighty, so back at the events page, the events area, the next thing we'll be farming is, of course, Pucci, as he's pretty much the most necessary unit in the game. All you do is come over here to this JoJo stage and load in, and let's go look at what the event looks like. Okay, now that we're loaded in, we will, of course, be going with super fast waves so that we can clear this faster, as it is 100 waves, so it is definitely a long event. Let's just start, and let's zoom out now. So, in terms of what we're working with here, we're just going to want to be placing farms at the start to keep grinding up money, because there is actually a stage mechanic that I will explain here in a minute. Let's just turn these on. Okay, so as you can see, it just turned nighttime. Every single time it turns nighttime, and it's only for like a second, because it's like wave-based, you're able to buy modifiers from this shop. What we're going to want to be buying is as many Seiya modifiers as we can to increase our unit's damage. So once our farms are maxed, we are of course going to be placing Robin and max upgrading her. So now for this event, since we only have 3 units on this team, we're just going to be placing in the middle here. We might actually have to move them around, but overall, it's not a huge problem because we have Robin that can max upgrade them whenever. The one thing you do need to remember is you do lose modifiers if you break and place the units, but for now it'll be fine. So the next thing I would like to say is, of course, that the bosses can spawn on either side. The way that the boss mechanic works is the boss keeps spawning. It spawns with a bunch of HP at start, but it keeps spawning and despawning. So you'll want to be moving your Ragna or one of your units around to deal as much damage to the boss when it spawns. You'll just put them on strongest so that you can keep chipping away at that HP bar before wave 100. The other thing is, as you farm up money, you're of course going to want to keep buying the Seiya modifiers when nighttime hits. But for now, I'm just going to fast forward and I'll come back when the first boss spawns. Alrighty, so as you can see, I placed my Ragna near where the boss spawned, and I set it to strongest so that we could keep doing damage. We just need to keep chipping away at these bosses. They won't go to the end of the track, but we do need to keep doing damage. So let's just let it keep running. Alrighty, and that is the clear with just those 3 units. If you add in another unit, I'm sure the clear will be even faster, but overall, it's not too bad of a game mode once you get this team going. So let's just now head into the middle game. Oh, I would like to say, you'll have to clear this event 6 times to get all the materials for Pucci, but I'm just going to show you something in the next clip, so stick around. Alrighty, so I am here over in the upgrades section. And if you come over here to unit trading and you scroll down, you will be able to see Pucci Made in Heaven right here. Here are all the materials you need. Again, you are going to have to grind the other events ahead of time in order to get enough gems and gold, but if you're opening capsules and such, it'll be easy. The one thing you might not have is these mystic tokens, 400 of them. There are a lot of ways to get them. A lot of the events do have them directly purchasable, but if you want to brute force it, up here at the top of my screen right now, you'll see this gate spawning. Every single gate you get, I'm not sure, I believe it was 40. So you will have to do a lot of them, but overall, Pucci is a very, very good unit. Actually, before I say that, let me check if there are any purchasable Mystic coins. Any of these shops, at least. I know they're in the JJK shop. Okay, yeah, so you might have to do gates. If not, you can look through the other shops and see if you can clear any of those events. But let's just head into the next step. I would like to say, as I completely forgot, the other unit from that same event is going to be Toru, Wonder Review. Wonder Review, I would actually highly recommend getting it. For, aside from the bosses like the newest world boss that he can't affect, he just directly halves boss's HP with his ability, and as you can see, I did equip him in my hotbar since he is grindable as per where we are in the game, so I will be using him going forward. I would highly recommend getting Pucci and him. I know it's a lot of grinding, but they're very worth units, so let's head into the final step. So the final stage before you are able to go get Sukuna, and then of course grind out the newest event, the world boss, using Sukuna, since Sukuna is definitely going to help you a lot. The final step is going to be world lines. So when it comes to world lines, we are going to want to go for Cid. Cid is going to be from Double Dungeon 2. As you can see, all of his Evo materials are in here. The way that you actually get Cid as a unit is actually from a portal, which I believe is one of these portals. I don't remember. Oh, he's in the raid menu, sorry. Lawless Temple, Cid. You'll have to get him, and then you can come over here to World Lines, Dungeon 2, get all of his Evo materials, and you will be able to evolve him into, of course, Cid Final Atomic. And let's hop into the stage, and I'll give you a strategy on how to clear it. Okay, so now that we're loaded in, we are going to want to select the super fast wave so that we can clear the game mode faster. And once we start, we want to come all the way back to the end of the map over here, behind the blue portal, so that Cid won't be able to destroy our units, because that is his mechanic. So just come back here, place your farms, then let's auto-upgrade our farms. At this point in the game, now that you have Pucci, you don't need to worry about leaks anymore, so the game becomes significantly easier if you want to macro anything. There are a lot of macro guides. I do have some out on the newest events, but the older events I haven't covered yet. If you guys would like to see some of those, I could do them, but there's already a lot of guides, so unlikely that I will. So if you look on this track here, there's these yellow triangles. I would say the safe point is that if you get your farms down instantly, once your farms are done maxing themselves out, you should actually probably just place Pucci and use Reset Universe at that point. After that, we're of course going to want to get our Robin down back here and max upgrade her, whether you just manually do it or come over here, do that. So with her upgraded, any second now, Pucci will be sending them all back to the start, as you just saw. And what we're going to actually do is place Wonder Review so that we can use his ability once Pucci's ability ends, put him on auto. And we're also going to put Ragnar on auto. By doing this, Cid actually doesn't have any room to stun lock our units. And with these three placed, whenever Wonder Review's ability... Oh, his ability didn't activate. Well, normally it would cut the boss in half, but for now, I guess we're just going to have to wait. If he does start deleting your units, just keep replacing them. If you want to macro this, there's another strategy you can use, but as you can see, we're easily killing Cid. This event doesn't end until we hit wave, I think it's 50 anyways, so killing him super fast isn't really important. What's just going to be important for this is getting these 3 units. But anyway, I'll see you when the stage ends. Alrighty, and as you can see, we finished it, got some drops. All you need to do is farm all that until you're able to Evo Cid, and let's move on to the final farm, that being for Sukuna. Okay, so before we head into this final section, I do actually want to talk about the different ways to farm materials. We did speak about earlier about the summer event and about how good towers are for rerolls, but there is also the Chainsaw Man event if you want to get either of these units or any of these materials. And this event, as it stands with the current team that we have in this video, you can clear it on hell difficulty by just using Cid's nuke. That's literally all you have to do. You could probably find a video on it too, but Cid and Pucci alone can clear this event, so I wouldn't even worry. If you want to go get either of those 2 units or farm, you can for sure do that. In terms of what we're going to be doing now, we are going to be doing the Sukuna event, as Sukuna is the final unit before you are up to date in terms of you can start grinding the content that just released. Now, if you do want to see a guide on the newest content, I do already have videos posted for all of that pretty much only require Pucci and Sukuna. I haven't touched on a lot of stuff in this video, such as artifacts and traits, but that's because this is more of a progression guide than it is like a full in-depth explanation of the game, as I assume most people here are tower defense players, so they can get these mechanics. Anyway, let's head in and complete the final stage. Alrighty, now that we're loaded in, we are just going to both start, of course, and at this point, you know the routine. We place our farms. And by the way, if you are wondering how I can place 3 farms, I do have an ancient artifact on my Senku so that I can get an extra farm down. Honestly, not at all required, because once you have Robin max upgraded, the game's over. Everything's already upgraded, so I wouldn't even worry about it. Another thing is, I would like to say, drop chance boost, bottom left. Drop chance boost is actually important for the stage. If you play with other people, you can get up to, I don't even know how many people you can get in the stage, but you can get a significant drop chance boost. So matchmaking actually isn't bad for this. If you do want to macro it, it is completely possible with this team at this point, but let's place our Robin, max upgrade her. Alrighty, so once we get Robin max upgraded, and she already is, okay, what we're going to be doing is just placing our Cids, or sorry, Cid. Forgot I don't have ancient traits on any of these guys. And place our Pucci, and then place our Wonder Review. So the actual strategy here, in terms of what you want to be doing, is going to just be, don't worry about Maharaga spawning. So this Maharaga right here that just spawned, if you kill him right now with a nuke or whatever, or I don't even know. Yeah, I think if you nuke him down before the boss Sukuna spawns, he'll spawn another one. So we actually just want to wait for Sukuna to spawn so that we can just nuke both of them at once. If not, the stage just gets longer. It is only 30 waves, so I wouldn't really worry about it. But let's just wait for Sukuna to spawn. Alrighty, and Sukuna has spawned. So what we're going to do, I open the ability manager. I'm going to use Wonder Review's ability. And then once my units get unstunned, as you can see, we're going to use Atomic Universe. And then whenever Atomic Universe ends, we'll use Full Silver Saint. Those two abilities alone should get them low enough. This should get Sukuna to like half HP, maybe even lower. Let's see. Yeah, so that's going to pretty much kill him. Once we're done with that, okay, whenever the ability wants to end. Oh boy. Okay, well, Full Silver Saint doesn't appear to be wanting to turn on, so we'll just come over here and put it on auto. There we go, now it's going. So that'll just finish Sukuna off right at the end there. And as we can see, it is a pretty long animation, but it should be hitting any second now. But yeah, with this, we just chunk the boss down, and there we go. So the problem is we didn't actually kill him fast enough, meaning that the other Maharaga spawned. If you can kill this Sukuna before the Maharaga spawns, he won't spawn. If he does spawn, you're just going to be in the stage for longer, but I'll come back once this stage ends. Alrighty, so we are done with the event now. I unfortunately didn't get any drops, did get some Star Bronze and Star Gold, but that is pretty much it. So I'll meet you guys back in the lobby and we can talk about the ending of the video. Alrighty guys, well, this is what my final team looked like before the latest Chainsaw Man update. This team is ready to go into the Gun Devil World Boss. If you want to see how to clear that, you can go watch my video on it. I do just want to do a final shout out if you made it to this part in the video. Thank you for all the support you guys have been showing me. It's been an amazing couple days with how many views and subs we've been getting. It's been awesome. As I said earlier in the video, I will be giving away a Featherine, so do drop your user in the comments down below so that I can pick someone out. I will be picking the Sukuna giveaways. I'm doing 2 of them from the other videos that I don't even remember which videos it was in. I'll go find them. And if you want to go drop your user in those, you might be able to win one of those Sukunas if you just want to progress really fast if you're a noob. Yeah, aside from that, I just want to say I really appreciate you guys, and that's pretty much it from this video. If you have any other video suggestions, please do leave them below, and if you want me to make a guide in terms of just farming, so all the different ways to farm, that isn't really a progression guide, I can do that as well, just let me know. Anyway, have a good one, and I'll see you guys in the next one.